nathi ema-ARVs ngesaba imvumo umnyaka ngawaqala solo siphethene kahle ngikhumbula kahle ukuthi angimelanga ukuthi ngize ngigule noku nomhla solo ngingumcemane ngiyatichenya ngalesinqumo ngitawuqhubeka ngonathi ngikwethembeka solo ngime kuso sinqumo sami ngigrand ngisukumele impilo yami
kuva kabandi shayela 1212.
Gaming is magic. Sure, the avatars you play with might just be characters on a screen, but the excitement, that's real. If you can feel it, it must be real. And that's real magic.
It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, produced by Eswatini TV. My name is Sani Bonwana alongside Namakabiso Ngambole. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Bamana. Let's take a look at our top stories. Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says His Majesty King Mswati III will commission Sibaya, where Maswati will have an opportunity to make their submissions. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees has donated equipment to the Ministry of Home Affairs for the mopping exercise meant to ensure that everyone is in the government database. And the Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Princess Eswatini, says the non-installation of optical fiber cables have halted the project which was going to bring 5,000 jobs in the country. And now the news in detail. The Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Princess Eswatini, says the non-installation of optical fiber cables have halted the project which was going to bring 5,000 jobs in the country. Now, the minister said this during the debate of the ministry's annual performance report for 2021-2022 by the Senate Portfolio Committee.
The unbundling of Eswatini Post and Telecommunications Corporation into 3 companies will cost 1.2 billion emalangeni, according to the Minister of Information, Communications and Technologies, Princess Eswatini. The unbundling of EPTC and insufficient budget for the ministry have halted several projects.
Firstly, Bahlonishwa, we are having a problem with a long, tedious process on procurement. For starters, Microsoft services are not being enrolled in the ministry at the moment, so the very least of our cybersecurity measures is currently not at play, simply because the process is long and the qualifications are never ending, and that impedes upon our progress, it impedes upon our service delivery capabilities as a ministry. Several projects actually have been halted as a result of this cumbersome process in government. Firstly, the Harmonia project, which is supposed to bring 5,000 jobs in the country. That is a process that the AG approved, Cabinet approved, and now the problem is with EPTC. Because EPTC is an ailing institution, EPTC is supposed to partner with this company called Futurecom to bring about a nationwide fiber optic network so that every area in the country is serviced with high connectivity that connects to undersea cables that are overseas and cables that are within the country to ensure that connectivity remains at high speed and that we are able to roll out 5G.
Members of the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology Portfolio Committee in Senate chambers expressed their views regarding a number of projects, starting from computer and internet installation in schools, bills that have not been tabled in Parliament, to name a few.
Appreciate donation yini leye kufaka internet ekolweni. We do appreciate lo msebenzi lomkhulu nakangaka.
Ama laptops nginayo ingosi. Yiba nengosi lo waphe education. Ngive inhlito yami iba mnanzi kakhulu as chairperson of education ukuthi hawo lanetha elimnanzi lidulukethu la ngaphandle bantwana lokusihamba letikolo nema officials akho nduna yenkosi angakwathisa ukuthi umtimba lo lobhlungu baswela lwati
usithethe la wasisa lapha kunaya itindlu letilapha echen lenye ila ngisheya la kulisuthu umuntu bekanelithemba lokuthi kuyasetshenziswa kuyiwembili manje nase kunaletinkinga nathi lentibhalela phasi kusho ukuthi asiyembili ngibani lolwenda angaboni lokuthi lento yisha phela.
The minister says by putting computers in schools, the ministry is trying to bridge the digital gap as no one should be left behind in using technology. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Parliament.
Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says the police officers who had their properties gutted by fire will not be left in the cold. Now, the Prime Minister says these officers were as good as on duty when this unfortunate event happened. Now, the Prime Minister was speaking during the touring of the Eswatini Royal Police Services on Wednesday.
Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini on Wednesday toured the Royal Eswatini Police Service Department to familiarize himself with how they work. The Premier says he has seen the tough conditions in which police work under. The Prime Minister says other police officers have had their property burnt because of the line of work they are in.
Bashiselwa siyathi ke ukuthi lawo maphoyisa akakashiselwa ngoba abantu laba ne political view lehlukile but ashiselwe ngoba atisebenzi tahulumende letiphethene nemthetho labantu labo ke ungasho na ukhuluma ukuthi abakehlukani nemlolimele asemsebenzini siyathi ke ukuthi umuntu nakalimele asemsebenzini kwayebhekeke ukuthi kube khona labonwa ngako anginawusho ke ukuthi ngento etithembiso lengithi liqiniso nathi ukuthi titawendeka kepha nje ngithi nikwathi lokho ukuthi si-aware ukuthi abantu labalimalelwe kuleyo mbadla bafana nemlolimele asemsebenzini.
The PM says the government hiring freeze has seemingly had a negative impact on the operations of the force and added that they are doing something about it.
Siyakhuluma ke na National Commissioner in collaboration ne-Minister ka-Public Service kutawubuketwa lokho lapho kungarectifya khona kurectify lapho kubonakala ukuthi vele lama positions lawa ngokukhulumisana maybe vele akasasiwo lafuna usangagcwalisa ivaleke phela nangabe vele sebonakala ukuthi ayisenasidingo ngoba lokuhlala nje ivulekile kuthi umuntu aka-acte ku-create i-distortion.
National Commissioner of Police William Tsitsibala Dlamini says they will continue to do their work diligently no matter how tough the going gets.
Singemaphoyisa angibike ukuthi sisebenza ngokukhulu ukudimisela kakhulu ukudimisela noma simo ngalesinye isikhathi singavumi kodwa uNkulunkulu solo ungakithi uyasisita lapho asisita khona solo sikhona solo sibambile singemaphoyisa sonke we are fairly and very motivated.
Chairperson of the Prime Minister's Office Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly, Jacob Siwela, asked the Prime Minister to ensure that Phase 2 of the police salary adjustments is completed as Phase 1 has already been done and dusted with. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela, Babane.
The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says His Majesty King Mswati III will commission Sibaya, where Maswati will have an opportunity to have their submissions. Now, the Premier says Sibaya's constitutional and all rules that will be applied during the dialogue will be universal. He was speaking in Mbabane on Wednesday.
Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says His Majesty King Mswati III will commission Sibaya, whereafter government will make the necessary arrangements. The Prime Minister says Sibaya will not be a confrontation between government and the public, but a platform where Maswati will have a nation-building dialogue which will see individuals making their own submissions without any representation.
Tawubita Sibaya siyasazi sonke Sibaya sisebenza njani. La kutawukhulunywa khona kuziwane ukuthi eMaswati athini. Ngokuphatheka kwawo ngetemnotho and socially kude lo yawuba umchongo kuthi wena ungusibani bani hlala ngala wena awusilo lutho wena sewutawukhunyelwa ngusibani bani utawukhunyelwa ngusibani bani lo wamthuma nini usabayokhulumela besoloke siva ukuthi kukhona labathi bafuna Sibaya ngabe sona lesibaya sitaba khona yini sekonfirmekile manje ukuthi cha Sibaya sitaba khona seyinjinjile inkulumo hayi aseyithini Sibayeni hayi lesibaya akusiyo i-level playing ground hawu Sibaya lele siku constitution asesasiyo i-level playing ground Sibaya lo eMaswati bekasola hamba aya kuso ngeminyaka sekhona labasesabako ukuthi singahle singakhulumi lokungiko njenganini sekuyi-issue ngani lokho ukuthi kutawukhulunyelwa eSibayeni ngoba phela vele ngapha sihlala sikhulume ne-constitution isho njalo.
The Prime Minister says there will be rules to be followed during Sibaya, as is the case with every other platform. He says these rules will be universal. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Mbabane.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugees has donated equipment to the Ministry of Home Affairs for the mopping exercise meant to ensure that everyone is in the government data. And accepting the donation at her offices in Mbabane, the Minister of Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, says having the equipment will help in ensuring the exercise runs smoothly.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugees has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Home Affairs to provide technical assistance to government for the mopping exercise meant to ensure everyone is in government's database. The Commission's representative Leonard Zulu says this shows their commitment to help the kingdom.
So today I come here with my team to really outline and concretize UNHCR's commitment in written form, so that it's predictable the kind of assistance you'll be receiving from UNHCR. And on our side, we also understand what are your plans and what is your vision, so that we can go around to other partners and support you in mobilizing resources, in particular technical and financial resources.
The Minister of Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, extends appreciation to the Commission.
The Kingdom of Eswatini greatly appreciates all the technical, financial and humanitarian support that UNHCR extends to the Kingdom. Indeed, today's event attests to the special relationship that obtains between the UNHCR, especially the representative Mr. Zulu, and the Kingdom of Eswatini. It is also evidence of the tireless efforts of the Office of the UNHCR Special Representative and professional team assigned to Eswatini. Today's donation adds to the accumulating basket of UNHCR support to Eswatini, which includes funding to implement the National Action Plan to prevent and eradicate statelessness in the Kingdom, special training for ministry officials and statutory bodies on the refugee state determination process, support to the Nzevane Livelihoods Initiative.
The Minister says the Commission has helped Eswatini in different initiatives meant to better the lives of refugees and Emaswati. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla with LinkedIn Gule Mbabane.
Right about now, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, the news continues. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
While everything else is going up, we at SPAR have found great prices that go down, and down, and down. With our SPAR products Best for Less sale. Get 2 liter SPAR Extra Shelf Life Milk at an incredible $28.99 and 1 kg SPAR Daily Spread Tub, now just $24.99. The SPAR products Best for Less sale, now on. At SPAR, we've worked hard to get you low prices on great products every day. Like SPAR Pilchards, buy any 2 for just 44 emalangeni. And Shield Roll-On Deodorant, buy any 2 for only 34 emalangeni. It's low prices for you every day at SPAR.
Welcome back. You're still with the news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. My name is Sanebo Ngwane. Let's continue with the news. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Princess Melane, says towns in the country are being owed an amount of 212 million emalangeni in rates. Now, the minister was speaking during the debate of the ministry's 2021-2022 annual performance report by Senate Portfolio Committee.
All 13 towns in the country are being owed 212 million emalangeni in form of rates. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Prince Melane, says this will result in the collapse of towns. He said this during the debate of the ministry's 2021-2022 annual performance report and the budget estimate for the financial year 2022-2023.
Emadolobha phela asawusebenza ngani ngoba phela emadolobha asebenta ngayo imali yema rates emadolobha business asebenta ngemali yema rates.
The ministry's portfolio committee in Senate chambers have different views, including that how towns make money except for rates, and that rents for houses are now too expensive.
Recreation yebantwana lapho bantwana kufanele ukuthi badlale khona imidlalo badlale bantwana baze bakwazi ukuyosimelela ngelikhono nangemathalenta abo babuyele tindvodlo akuyakhona kuyakhoboseka sihlala kude nangabe kukhona sekuphelelwe isikhathi
nangabe ikhona indlela yokukhulisa amadolobha sihlala asabayibuke indzaba yema-rates nalokhu kumbe mhlawumbe ningamathi ukuthi ngibani lobakwenetayo nangu-2 million kuthi ngabe-ke yena nje njengoba abakweneta 2 million vele batagcine bamdlile yini njengoba vele bahlale bakutshela bakuthi ye utawudliwa. Okay-ke uma agcina mbe mhlawumbe angakambhadali lo 2 million vele ukuthi akwendekani kafishane nje umbuzo uthi sihlalo nguyiphi indlela emadolobha latakhela imali ngayo ngaphandle kwalama-rates
sekude lokhona ukuthi afforda lokuthi lapha nje endlini nakwathi umuntu munye akahamba athathe umoba lapha athi uyorenta impela utawucabanga ukuthi ngiyangicabangela yona wakithi akungeneke kuqale ku-5,000 yedulu 5,000 umholo wemuntu lo sebehola kakhulu la initially lithetile ubutakhe lokuthi demand low income earners low cost whatever but nyalo atisa affordwa nangumuntu lo run business let alone lo qashiwe.
On another matter, the Minister of Housing says an allocation of 5 million emalangeni for one of the project's feasibility study under his ministry was too much. He wonders why so much money was only allocated for the feasibility study. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Parliament.
Chief Justice Peggy Mapalala has announced the appointment of 4 new judges of the High Court. Now, the CJE says these judges will help in reducing the backlog of cases, and which include some that may have recently started spiking. Mapalala says these cases that have seen a recent spike include rape, murder, SOTV, and mob justice.
Chief Justice Peggy Mapalala says the 4 new judges of the High Court will help in reducing the backlog of cases. The CJ has also thanked Their Majesties for appointing the new judges, who are Zonke Makakula, Kondapi Manzini, Bonginkosi Makakula, and Bongani Dlamini. The CJ says the new judges will help in dealing with cases that have sharply increased of late.
Sinemacala lamanengi langenako, particularly macala emurder, manengi kakhulu lafika on a daily basis. Siyaphinde siqalele phansi khona ne-mob justice, yabona emacala angena e-mob justice lamanengi. Lelinye licala lelinengi kakhulu licala le-SOTV. Ne-rape, so kuyaqhubeka nalo lisetulu kakhulu lizinga le-SOTV cases.
The judges then took their oath of allegiance.
I, Zonke Wilton Makakula, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to King Eswatini III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
Manzini, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to King Eswatini III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
I, Bonginkosi Wilfred Makakula, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to King Eswatini III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
I, Bongani Sidney Lamin, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to King Eswatini III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
The CJ said the appointment of the judges is in line with the launch of a commercial court of Eswatini. The Chief Justice says it is yet to be considered as to which judges will preside at this court, which he says will start operating next week. The CJ says the commercial court is a division of the High Court and all equipment has already been installed for it to start operating. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, High Court.
Vusemuzi brother Dlamini, popularly known as Prophet Major V, has been granted bail set at 50,000 Malangeni by the High Court. Now, this follows his bail application at the High Court, which was preceded by an appearance at the Mbabane Magistrates Court, where he was remanded in custody until the 25th of March. While out on bail, he is not expected to leave the country without the permission of the High Court.
Vusemuzi brother Dlamini, who is popularly known as Prophet Major V, first appeared before the Mbabane Magistrates Court around 11 a.m. on Wednesday. He stands accused of the alleged theft of 900,000 emalangeni at Building Society on the 3rd of February. Prosecutor Chris Sibanze applied that Prophet Major V be remanded into custody until the 25th of March pending committal to the High Court. His lawyer, Ndobego Piliso, did not oppose this, but submitted that they would apply for bail at the High Court. Senior Magistrate Sifiso Vilagati granted the application to remand the Prophet in custody. In the afternoon, Prophet Major V approached the High Court with his bail application, in which he submitted that he would plead not guilty to the charge. The court granted the Prophet bail set at 50,000 emalangeni. The court ruled that Prophet Major V pays 5,000 emalangeni cash and provides surety worth 45,000 emalangeni. While out on bail, Prophet Major V is expected to surrender his passport to the police. He is not expected to leave the country without the permission of the court, and he must not interfere with state witnesses. The bail application was before Principal Judge Qinisile Mabuza. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, High Court.
Right about now, let's see how markets are performing today in our financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. Right now, we take a look at news making headlines in the world of sports. Royal Leopards playmaker Junior Makakula has been voted the Player of the Month of February. Now, this is Makakula's second Player of the Month award. The midfielder believes that the country is yet to see his best performance. For his heroics, Makakula was awarded a cheque of 6,000 malangeni at the House of Football in the Squatam House in Babane.
Having secured December's Best Player award, Royal Leopard playmaker Junior Makakula has secured the second monthly award for the current season after being awarded as Best Player for the month of February. Makakura, who is aged 27, believes the partnership with his teammates is what has assisted his achievements so far. Makakura believes he is yet to be the best, considering what he still has to achieve. He has not travelled with the team to Libya for the second leg of the CAF Confederation Cup against Al Ittihad due to injury, and will miss the Sihlangu AFCON qualifiers game against Somalia next Wednesday. Under the National First Division, Pilani Nhlego was the best player for the month of February. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
Denver Sundowns collected maximum points when defeating Green Mamba 2-0 in the midweek Premier League game that was played at Mavuso Sports Centre in Manzini.
Denver Sundowns lined up against Green Mamba in a midweek fixture that played at the Mavuso Sports Centre. There was no delay for Sundowns players who were in front of their club director, Maka Michael, when Mike Dombo opened the score within 27 minutes of the game, which was the only goal scored in the first half. In the second half, Sundowns pick up where they left as Mike Dombo doubled the lead after 8 minutes in the second half to reassure the victory for the yellow and blue side. The game ended on that note with Sundowns managing to get 3 points, which means that they are now 19 points in 17 games played so far. On another note, the MTN Premier League will be taking a short break of 2 weeks to allow the national team Sihlangu Semnigati to take part of the international duties, and will resume on the 30th of this month. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Manzini.
Well, that brings us to the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Before we go, here's a quick reminder of our top stories tonight.
Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says His Majesty King Mswati III will commission Sibaya, where Maswati will have an opportunity to make their submissions. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees has donated equipment to the Ministry of Home Affairs for the mopping exercise meant to ensure that everyone is in the government database. And the Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Princess Kanyiso, says the non-installation of optical fiber cables have halted the project which was going to bring 5,000 jobs in the country.
Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the team at Eswatini TV. For now, good night and God bless.